Okay, good evening, everyone. So we can start like DevOps from today. Okay, so till now we have done like Linus few classes, right? So these are enough, and like you can get the remaining class from the Imran sir classes. Don't worry about that one. So from today onwards, like we are going to start about like complete DevOps. So as per like our introduction, we have seen the DevOps lifecycle, right? So what is the stage number one in DevOps lifecycle? Stage number one, plan. Stage number two, code. Stage number three, build. Okay, fine. So I said in the demo sessions, like planning is completely going to be done by the technical architect. So we are never going to involve in the stage of planning. What is your stage number two then? Coding. Fine. So here I would like to tell you one thing. So coding is completely depend upon the type of application we are going to use. Few applications require Java, few required Python. See, we cannot fix only this type of coding is required for this kind of application. If we talk about Netflix, in Netflix, we use Java and Python and front-end code. There are multiple codes which are supposed to create an application. Only with the help of the single coding, we cannot able to create one end-to-end application. Is that point clear for all of you now? Everyone. Fine. So in real time, who is going to create the code? We are developers. Developers. So developers will create the code. Okay, fine. Like what is our work means? We are going to deploy the code. Correct or not? So our main purpose is to take the code from the developer and to deploy it on the servers. For that point of view, you need to understand a bit basics about the Git. Without understanding the basics of Git, you cannot able to deploy the application in real time. Why? Because in your real time, entire code is going to place on the GitHub only. So you need to understand what is the meaning of Git and what is the meaning of GitHub and why we are going to use this concept. Fine. So the first concept here I'm going to talk about is Git. The basic definition of Git is global information tracker. What is the full form of Git? So here global information tracker means globally it can track any kind of information. Globally it can track any kind of information. The information can be a code or it can be a text format, it can be an image format, it can be PNG, whatever you want. You know what are the things we are going to have on the code? Basically, I'll tell you. For example, let's consider it is our code. So in our code, what are the things you are going to see in real time? I'll tell you. For example, let's consider I have a code. In this code, you are going to see the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Definitely front-end code will be there. Front-end code. And back-end code also will be there. Back-end code will be Python, Java, or anything. Apart from this, you can see the images and videos also. Images and why? Because if you open any application, let's take any kind of application. Without application, are we able to use any kind of like without image? Are we able to see any kind of application? If you take Paytm or if you take Book My Show or if you take any kind. So there are majorly four kind of factors: front end code, back end code, images, and some applications will also consist of videos. Tell me an application which consists of videos. YouTube. YouTube you will have. Instagram you will have. Of course, in WhatsApp status also you can see the videos, right? So all of these things you are going to have inside a code. To secure this code, that means to save this code in real time, we are going to use a tool called Git. What we are going to use? So Git main purpose is to store the source code, sir. This is the first point you need to understand. So here I'm writing for you. Already have the notes. Don't worry about the notes, okay? So here, for my previous batch, I already have the notes. So same notes I'm going to use for you. Why? Because instead of writing everything from the scratch, okay, we can use the same notes. So Git is called as global information tracker. Of course, we can call it as version control system. What we can call it as? Sir, what do you understand by the meaning of version control system is? I'll tell you here. Just try to observe. Yes, Swapnil, you can join. Let me share this one. So if you go and see, here it is called as version control system. That is VCS, or you can call it as source code management. What is the meaning of version control system? Means let's consider it is our application version 1.0. And it is the same application with version 2.0. Have you seen any difference between version 1 and version 2? Application is same, but the version is. That means if you go from one version to another version, the features of the version 2 is updated or not, sir? This is what you are going to call it as version control system. What we can call it as? So here you have majorly two versions, version 1.0 and version 2.0. That means in version 1, if I write 100 lines of code, for version 2, I need to write some new code or not, sir? Of course, same code I will use, but I'll try to insert some new lines into the same code. So this is what I can call as version control system. Version control system means storing the source code of each version separately. What we can call it as? Storing the each version of the code separately. If you go and see, to store and track each version of the code separately. So this is the first definition you need to understand. What is the first thing here? VCS. VCS means version control system. What is the main purpose? To store and track each version of the code separately. Fine then here. So next, sir, my purpose is like here the main thing. What exactly I'm going to teach you is about why we need to store each and every version of the code separately. For example, let's consider here, if you go and check, it is my version 1 code, it is my version 2 code, and it is my version 3 code. Version 1 code I wrote for 100 lines. How many lines? Let's consider. Version 2 code I read 200 lines of code. Again, same application, but the version is going to be different. Version 3, I read 300 lines of. Now, what is this Git going to do? You know, version 1 code, it is going to store separately. Version 2 code is going to store. And version 3 code is also going to store. That means each and every individual version of the code is going to store separately. That is the exact meaning of version control system. Is that point clear for all of you? What is the meaning of version control system? Can you tell me what is the meaning of version control system? To store each version of the code separately. Fine. Next here, sir, in our course, we are going to use a tool called Git, which is going to called as version control system. Remember, you can call Git as version control system or even source code management. The meaning is going to be the same here. Sir, Git main purpose is to track the files. What is the main purpose of Git? To track the files. It will maintain the multiple version of the same file. For example, already I said, multiple version of the same file means here, are you seeing 3 different versions? I'll tell you one thing, like I'll ask you one thing. What is the main file that required to create an application, sir? What is the main file we want to create application? Without that file, we cannot create any application, sir. What is the main file to create any kind of application? Index dot. Without index.html, can we create any kind of application? It is the basic file or not, sir? For example, let's consider in version 1, I have index.html, which is 10 lines. How many lines? Same. In version 2 also, I'm having the index.html in version 2 also. But this time I'm having 20 lines of code. How many lines? Again, sir, here, same, I'm having same index.html, that is 30 lines of code. Now, if you go and see, for version 1, we have index.html. For version 2, we are having, and for version 3 also we are having. So this is the exact meaning of multiple version of the same file. Here, versions are going to different. Version 1, version 2, version 3. But the file is going to be remain same or not, sir? You got the clarity? What I said is multiple version of the same file. That means file is same. But what is changing here? Versions. So the best example to define this point is index.html. Next, it is platform independent. What is the meaning of platform independent? Means it can work on any kind of operating system. That can be Linux operating system, that can be Windows operating system, or even that can be Mac OS. It doesn't matter in which operating system you want to use. Git can be able to work on any kind of operating system. And you know, it is free and open source. What is the meaning of open source? Already we discussed in Linux. What is the meaning of open source? So the code is going to be available on public. So you can use that code and you can modify however you want and whatever you want. Sorry? Like, any doubt in this? Okay, fine. So it is free and it is going to be the open source file. They can handle larger project efficiently. That means, for example, if I have a big project, this Git can alone handle the very big kind of project, sir. And it comes under third generation of version control system. So which generation of VCS is Git? Third generation. So this is completely written on the C programming language. So Git written on which programming language? C. And it comes on the year. Which year, sir? 2005. Is the point clear for all of you? Again, so Git is used to track the files. So it is going to maintain the multiple version of same file. Can anyone tell me the example of multiple version of same file? Index.html. It is platform independent. What do you understand by the meaning of platform independent? It can work on any kind of operating system. It is free and open source as we discussed. And they can handle a larger project efficiently. And it comes to the generation of third generation. Which generation? So Git is written on which programming language, sir? C. And it comes in the year which year? 2005. So is the basic stuff clear for all of you? What is the Git and why we are using the Git? Everyone? Okay, what about you online? Is the content clear for all of you till now? Can you please confirm in chat once? If it is clear, we can go for the next topic. Yeah, fine. Thank you. Next year, so I'm going to tell you about the history of version control system. Basically, till now, we have seen what is the meaning of Git and why we are using the Git. But now I'll tell you the complete history of version control system, like how it started. Okay. For example, if we talk, what is the latest version of iPhone? 15. But before 15, we have 14. Before 14, we have 13. Before we have 12. Correct or not? That means we have some history for it. Same like currently we are using Git as version control system. But before Git, we have a lot of tools. I'm going to describe you why we are using Git rather than the old tools. So the history starts in the year 1972. Okay. Why? Because from this year only we started creating the applications. Why? Because C programming language came on which year? 2005. C programming. 1972. Which year? The birth of C programming language lead to create the applications. Before C programming language, we don't have applications, sir. Trust me, we don't have any kind of applications. Okay. But when the C came into the market, people started creating application with the help of C programming language. So if I want to create a project, like if I want to create an application, do I require single page code or multiple page code? Multiple files, correct or not? And do I require single folder code or multiple folder code? Multiple. And single developer required or multiple developers required? Multiple developers, right? So this SCCM is going to track only one file and it can give the permission for only one user. That means, is this still matching our requirement? Why? Because in our project, we have multiple files, multiple folders, and multiple developers. But this can be able to support only one user and one file. Later then, we came to know that RCS came into the market. RCS means revision control system. So this revision control system can able to track multiple files, sir, which is very good, but not multiple folders and not multiple user. Again, limitation or not, sir? Then after that, there is one more tool that came into the market that is called as CVS. What we can call it as concurrent version control system. Okay, it can track multiple files, it can track multiple folders, but the permission is given to only again single user. SCCM single user, RCS single user, and finally CVS also single user. Then after that, there is a tool called subversion. The shortcut is going to be SVN. What is the shortcut? This is to track the multiple files and multiple directories, and it can give permission for multiple user. That means, is this tool tracking my each and every requirement or not, sir? It can track multiple files, it can track multiple folders, and it can able to give permission to multiple users. For that purpose, from the year 2000, everyone started using the SVN subversion. But after again 5 years, there is a new tool called Git comes into the market. Which tool comes into the market now? Sir, people forgot SVN and start using the Git. Why? Because Git can able to track multiple files, it can able to track multiple folders, it can able to give permission to multiple user. Same features like SVN, correct or not? But why people started using Git? The main thing is Git is distributed, SVN like SVN is centralized. What is the main difference between these two tools? Git is distributed, SVN is centralized. What is the meaning of distributed and centralized? It means I'll take a picture for all of you, like I'll draw a picture for you. So then you will come to an idea. For example, let's consider you have one code, sir. You have one code. This code I store on single repository. Okay, I have this code. As per I said, backend code, front end code, everything I have. So this code I able to store on single repository. At the same time, I have the code which I can be able to store this code more than one repository. Repo means a folder actual. Okay. Second, same code. First time I can be able to store source code on single place. But second time I can be able to store source code on multiple places. Which one is better now? Multiple. So this is what I can call as centralized. What I can call as centralized version control system. That means you can be able to store the source code on single place. In how many places you can be able to store? Second one is distributed. What is the second one? This I can be able to store on multiple places. That means even though if I lost my source code on one place, am I able to get it back from other place or not, sir? So this is what the difference between centralized versus distributed. Is the point clear for all of you now? The reason why we using Git rather than SVN means both will give the same kind of options. But why we prefer to choose Git? Why not SVN? Sorry. Git is centralized and SVN is Git is distributed and SVN is going to be, here I can write this one, okay? So SVN means subversion, which is going to be centralized. That means you can be able to store source code on only single place. So this is centralized Git. So which one is centralized, SVN or Git? In SVN, you can able to store source code on single place or multiple place. But Git is distributed. That means you can able to store source code on multiple. Now you got the clarity why we are using Git rather than SVN. All of you clear for it? Okay, fine. So this is the version control system. Basically, this is not going to be asked on any kind of interview. I said that for your knowledge only. To analyze the subject, learning the subject is different and analyzing the subject is also going to be different. So in our course, you are not going to learn the subject, you are going to analyze it. Why and how. Fine then. So next year, like if in interview, somebody asks you, what is the main purpose of using it? Just it is going to work like this. For example, if I have a client, this client is going to have some requirement. And he's going to tell that requirement to developer, I want to create application. In this application, I want to add these kind of features. Developer will work on the code and he's going to create the application. So if I launch the application into the market, after few months, again, the same client came to me and asked me to use one more feature. And this developer tried to create one more feature in the application. Now application got update. Previously, I have only 2 features. But now currently I'm having 3 features. How many? So what happened is, unfortunately, when I add the new feature to my application, application is not working properly. What's happening to application now? It is not working. In that case, what I want to do, I want to troubleshoot that issue or not, sir? Where you are going to troubleshoot, sir? For example, let's consider it's a banking application. User tried to withdraw 100 rupees. How many rupees? But due to the technical issue, it is showing 1 lakh rupees. I mean, like message will come right when you withdraw. The user tried to withdraw 100 rupees, but he got the message of 1 lakh rupees debited from your account. What will happen, sir? User will die or not, sir? See, he withdraw only 100 rupees, but how much it is showing? That means, unfortunately, this machine is taking 3 zeros additionally, which is going to be very, very bad for the application. In that case, we are not going to fix that issue. First of all, we are going to roll back. What we are going to do? Roll back means going back to the previous application. That means currently I'm on version 2. From version 2, I got the issue. If I switch the version 2 to version 1, that means if I bring back the old application, that is what I can call it as rollback. What we can call it as? In a simple word, rollback is nothing but going back to previous version. Write this point, all of you. Like, I'll tell only few important points. Try to note only that points. Rollback means going back to the previous version. Rollback means what? Going back to the previous version. You got that point? What is the meaning of rollback now? Rollback is nothing but going back to the previous version. Sir, if I want to perform rollback, for example, let's consider if I want to perform the rollback, I want to have the old code or not, sir? With the help of the version control system called Git, we can store each version separately or not, sir? This is how we are going to use the Git. So if you go and check now here, like I'll tell like this. For example, I have the version 2 now. What I have? Let me increase the size. Here I have version 2. Version 2 is having an issue. So from version 2 to version 1, I need to come back or not, sir? If I want to come back from version 2 to version 1, I need to store source code of version 1 separately. To store the source code of each version separately, which tool we are using now? Now, have you got the clarity why we need to use Git? Everybody? Fine. So when we are speaking about Git, we majorly having 3 type of stages. But before I explain that stages, I'll recap what are the stuff we have listened till now. Why? Because I'm not gonna make it hurry-burry. So slowly, what are the stuff you are going to learn? You need to make it very clear. So I'll recap everything from now. So Git stands for Global Information Tracker. It is called as version control system. That means you will have the multiple version of the same source code. Okay. Version 1 code separately, version 2 code separately, version 3 code separately. Why we are storing this code separately? Just now I said for you. To roll back. What is the meaning of rollback? Going back to the previous version of the application. If I want to go back to previous version of application, I need to have previous code separately or not, sir? If I don't store it, what will happen? I cannot go back. That is the reason why we started using the Git. So it is mainly used to track the files. It will maintain the multiple version of same file. It is platform independent and it is free and open source. They can handle the larger project efficiently. And coming to the generation, what is the generation of VCS? And in which programming language we write Git, sir? And in the year 2000. And one more fact about Git is, you know Linux, right? Who invented Linux for you? Linus Torvalds. Which programming language? It is free and open source or not, sir? If you see, Git and Linux having common factors. Why? Because both Git and Linux founded by Linus Torvalds only. Who founded Git, sir? Linus Torvalds. And who founded Linux? Both has been discovered and invented by Linus Torvalds. Like that. So coming to the history, initially we have SCCM. It can able to track one file and permission will be only one user. Later we use RCS, multiple files, but can't track multiple folders and permission will be single user. CVS can track multiple files and multiple folders, but again, permission will be limited to. Then we came to know about SVN. So it can track multiple files and multiple folders and permission will be given to multiple. But why we are using Git over than SVN? What is the difference between them? So SVN is going to be centralized. That means you can store code on only single place. Git is going to be called as distributed. That means you can store the code on multiple places. That's it. So is the subject clear till for all of you now? Any doubts or any queries still here? No, right? Online, what about you? Can you please confirm me on chat once? Is the subject clear till now or not? If it is clear, we can proceed further, or if you are having any doubts, you can ask me now directly. Online, I'm asking about you. Can you please confirm me on chat once? Fine. So again, like how many of you joined on Google Classroom? Raise your hands. Okay, remaining you need to join soon on Google Classroom. Why? Because your notes and everything will be given to there only. So till now, no. Basically, we have logged it. Don't worry, I'll unlock today. Okay, don't worry about that one. So now we already discussed about what is the meaning of CVCS, and we also discussed what is the meaning of DVCS and what is the meaning of rollback. Going back to previous version. So example, version 1, version 2 to version. How to roll back means by storing the each and every version of the code separately. Now here you are going to learn how to work with the Git. So to work with the Git, basically you are going to have majorly 3 stages. How many stages? You can call it as stages of Git, or you can call it as architecture of Git. Okay. So now Git is totally having 3 number of stages. In that 3 stages, stage number 1 is going to be your working directory. What is your stage number 1? Working directory means simple. First of all, what is the meaning of directory? Means it's a folder. What is the meaning of directory? Working directory means it is a folder where we write the code. For example, let's consider I want to create the application, sir. To create the application like Instagram, first of all, I'll create a folder. Inside this folder, I'll try to write the code. That can be front-end code, that can be back-end code. So here I'm writing like this. So I'll create a file. For example, I'm showing her index.html. For example, it is my working directory. Inside working directory, I have files or not, sir? So this is what you can call as your stage number 1. Your stage number 1 is going to be working directory. Here you can store the source code of your application. What is the stage number 1? What you are going to do on working directory? To store the code for application, but the application will not be tracked. Application will not be tracked. Okay. So next, you are going to see the staging area. What you are going to see? Staging area means once you write the code on the working directory, you want to track that code. Tracking means you are going to tag it as this code is completely done. Simply what we can call it as. For example, see, if I want to tell the example. So last day we have 35 students, right? Offline. But here we have like 27 or 28 students. Why? Because we tracked the students who have done the payment. The student who done the payment sit here, and who haven't done, they are not here, right? Tracking means to observe whether the requirement is complete or not. What is the requirement now here? My requirement is to say the class who have done the payment. That means we tracked each and every student or not, sir? Your working directory is what you can call as demos. Like I am telling in the real life example, your working directory means demos. In working directory, you can have 100 files. Okay. Like in demo, you have 100 students, but at the end of the day, you are going to stage the files. That means you want only some files. What you want? Here also, I have only few students I want, sir. The student who have done the payment, I want to teach them. Correct or not? Just to understand even a better way, I am taking this example. So in staging area, what you are going to do is, if you done the coding, if your code is completely done, you are going to take the files to the staging area. That means for demos, I allowed all of the students. But students who have done the payment, for those students only I have taken DevOps class or not, sir? Here also, initially in working directory, you have some hundreds of files. But you are going to track them. That means once the code is completely done, now you are going to track them on the staging area. Which area? This staging area is nothing but here we are going to track the files. Simply, it is what we can call as next version of your file. What we can call it as? And again, third stage is going to be your repository. Repository means it's a folder where we can store the tracked files. That means you create the file, sir. In working directory, you just create the file. In staging area, we are going to track the file. In repository, you are going to store that file. Okay. Again, one more time, I'm telling how many stages we are having. In working directory, we create files. In staging area, we track files. In repository, store the files. Is the definition clear for all of you now? So these are three different stages and it is going to be your interview question. So definitely in interview, you are going to face this question, sir. Tell me the stages about Git. Now tell me what are the stages inside the Git? First one, working directory. Second one, staging area. Third one, in working directory, what you are going to do? Create the files. Staging area, you are going to track the files. Repository, you are going to. Is the definition clear for all of you now? Everyone. Okay. So now what you are going to do is I'm going to tell everything on practical way, but open some separate page and write interview questions. So parallelly from now, what are the tools I'm teaching you, right? I'll tell you the interview questions on them. So note this on separate like page, interview questions. First question, what is version control system or source code management? What is version control system or source code management? Second question, difference between distributed version control system and centralized version control system. Difference between distributed version control system, simply DVCS versus CVCS. CVCS versus DVCS or DVCS versus CVCS, anything is fine. Second question and third question is going to be, what are the stages of Git? So how many questions done till now? What are those? First one is, what is version control system or source code? Second question, difference between DVCS versus CVCS. Third question, what are the stages of a Git file? So these questions already you can get from GitHub, Vanessa. Already interview questions and answers I have given on the GitHub. Okay, you can take it from there. But this is the most frequently asked. Okay, you can write it down. And offline, you are going to write these questions. Okay. So first of all, here I am going to create a folder, sir. Why? Because I want to create a working directory. Working directory means where you are going to write the source code. So currently I don't have any folder here. The command to create a folder is mkdir. What is the command? Folder name you can create whatever you want. You can create Paytm or Instagram. You can give whatever you want. mkdir is the command that is to create a folder. Now, if I want to go inside that folder, the command is going to be cd. cd means change directory. What it is? So here you have everything. Okay. So starting from the top of the file to ending of the file, you have each and every command written over there. So don't worry about the notes. Okay. Next, mkdir is the command to create a folder and cd is the command to go inside that folder. Now here I want to install Git. What I want to install? To install Git, the command is going to be m-y. There m is called as package manager. What is m there? So by using the m package manager, I am installing. What I'm installing? Git here. What I'm installing here? If you give -y, it won't ask permission. But if you don't give -y, it will ask permission. Why? Why for yes? Is the Git installed now? Tell me the command to install Git. Yum install Git. Okay. So after installing the Git, you need to initialize the repository. The command is going to be git init command. Which command? So if I give the command git init, this command is going to install the repository. Remember, if you don't have .git, you cannot able to work with the commands. So this is going to be very, very important. Is it done now? If I give ls-al, are you seeing .git? This .git is what you can call as local repo. What we can call as? Write this as interview question. What is .git? .git is called as local repository or local repo. What is .git? And one more thing, guys. So tomorrow we are going to have election right here. So tomorrow there is no class for all of us. Okay, please remind this one. Okay. And your next class is going to be day after tomorrow only. Why? Because due to election, so we need to give holiday, right, for everyone. So, and online for you too. No, like questions I'm just telling by mouth only, one is I'm not writing anywhere. Okay. You can write it down or your notes, whatever you are having there. So now tell me, what is .git? .git is a local repository. Without .git, we cannot perform any command on Git. Without .git, we cannot perform any command on the Git. So now try to create a file, sir. What is the command to create a file? Touch. Currently, this file is on working directory. Where this file is on? Working directory. Okay, fine. You said this file is on working directory. How to check whether this file is tracking or not? Tell me one thing. In working directory, can we track the files? Yes or no? No, right? If I want to track that file, I want to take it them to Staging area. See, if I give the command git status, this file is on tracking or untracking? Where it is? Untracking. Untracking means it is on working directory or staging area, guys. If I want to track it, that means I want to get it to staging area. The command is, here you can see the command git add command. Which command? If you give this command, file will come to working directory to staging. Git add, what is the name of the file? Now again give the command git status. Guys, git status is optional. This is just to show currently we are on which stage. Currently it is tracking or not. Red color means untracking. Green color means tracking. So the first command is going to be touch, or you can use VIM also. Anything is fine. But here in our class, I'm going to use touch command. And here you can use index.html file or file1 also. Anything is going to be fine. Okay. So next, it is to create a file. To create a file. What is the purpose of using git status command? To check the status of a file. Sir, if I want to track that file, what is the command? Git add and name of the file. Okay, what are the file you want to add? You can add it. Sir, now if you see the architecture, first of all, you are in working directory. For working directory to staging area, you came by using git add command. Now staging area to repository, I want to go, sir. Which command I want to give? Git commit -m. I am going to give commit1. What I am going to give? And what is the name of the file? File1. By using the git command, I am committing the file. Here m means message. What is the meaning of m? Here you can write whatever the message you want and which file you are committing. Now that file is committed. If you want to see, if I give the command git status, nothing will show to me. Am I able to say anything? Am I able to say anything there? No. Why I am not able to see anything? Because every file there is tracked and committed. I have only one file. I create the file, I add the file, I commit the file. This is the pattern you are going to follow. First of all, you are going to create the file. Next, you are going to, finally, you are going to, tell me the command. What is the command to create a file? Touch. If I want to see the status, git status. If I want to track that file, git add. If I want to commit that file, git commit. There is a command called git log. For example, how many commits you have done, sir? One commit. If I want to see the commit, git log. What is the command that is going to show the commit, sir? Git log command. So again, same process we are going to do for the file 2. Now for file 2, you are going to tell me. So create the file, add the file, commit the file. Tell me the command. First of all, touch file 2. I want to see the status of the file. What is the command? Status. Current it is on untracked. I want to track it. What is the command? Git add file 2. Again, if I check the status, tracking. I want to commit the file. Git commit -m. Name of the file is file 2. Now I want to check the list of commits. What is the command? Git log. Are you able to see it or not, sir? Sir, if you don't want the complete information of commits, you want on shortcut -1 line you can use. -1 line means it is going to show every commit on single line. Basically, commit is going to give complete information. Who committed this one? Author, root is the user committed it. What is the date when it is committed? Wednesday, November 29th, so and so time. What is the commit message? Commit to. It is going to show complete information. It is, I don't want that complete information. I want to see commit ID. What is the commit message? That's it I want. I can use the command git log one line commit. Which commit? One line means it is going to show the commits in single line only. Is the command clear for all of you? So that's it, sir. So in today's class, we have seen what is Git and why we are using the Git and what is the architecture of Git. So this basic is enough for today. And one more small topic is there. I'll tell that only small topic. It will take only 1 minute. For example, currently, which user it is showing, sir, as committed user? Root. But I want to give my name. Because I am the user who is committing the files, right? I want to give my name. So in that case, I need to give the command git config. I am configuring the username. So give user dot name. What is the username here? Raham. And again, same command git config user dot email I want to configure. So just to give Raham at the rate of Gmail. Clear now? Sir, if I give git log, is it going to show my name or not, sir? It won't show, sir. Why? Because these commits are already done before configuring, right? Now, if I want to see my name under the commit, I need to do at least one new commit or not, sir? Can we do a new commit? Tell me the process. First of all, create the file. Touch file 3. Next, git status. It is optional to check. Next, git add file 3. And again, if I give git status, it is on which mode now? Track code. Finally, git commit -m commit 3. What is the name of the file? Now, if I give the command git log, are you able to see committed username is Raham and email is Raham at the rate of? Correct or not, sir? And one more thing is here, I want to see commits under single line. What is the command? Git log 1 line. Sir, how many commits you are having? 2 or 3. I want to see only last 2 commits, just to put -2. -2 is nothing, but it is going to show the last 2 commits. I want only last 1 commit, sir. What is the command? Git log 1. So this is the stuff enough for today. Okay, why? Because it is day 1, right? So for day 1, we are not going to have the complete 1.5 of session. Why? Because day 1 means it is new for all of you. For that purpose, only basic stuff I taught you. Day 2, we are going to see complete in-depth of Git and how we are going to use it on real time. For today, I just shown you the basic process, the beginner process. So I'm gonna give notes for you. Just give me a second. Yeah, I'll give you everything. Just give me 1 second. And what are those few other comments like Aradis? Like I'll tell you. So git log --- 1 line I shown you. Git log --- 1 line to show commits under single line. Next, if I want to see last 2 commits only, so I need to give -2 to show last 2 commits. So this is the stuff we have seen today's class, and you can get these notes on like your Google Classroom. Don't worry, from today you will get it. Okay. And how many of you joined like on Google Classroom? How many of you haven't joined till now? Just please raise your hands. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you 6 people haven't joined. Huh? Have done with your payments already? Then please go and ask Rajesh sir. He is going to provide you. Why? Because if you don't have the Google Classroom notes, right, you cannot get the notes and you cannot able to practice anything. So Anuradha, don't worry. If you listen to this video, right, you will get everything clarity. So don't worry about this stuff. Why? Because it is day 1, right? So no need to worry. If you haven't joined on the Google Classroom, please contact your admins. They are going to guide you how to join on Google Classroom, and even on Telegram channel also. I think you are on Telegram channel, right? You can join from there. So this is the day one of Git, sir. Of course, for day one, we have seen only few concepts. And again, I'm also going to give history comments. Okay. By using these history comments, your practice is going to be very, very easy. History means whatever the comments are used on the class, these comments you are going to see one by one here. By taking the reference of these history comments, you can practice the stuff very, very easily, sir. That's it. So now in today's session, like if you are having any doubts or queries, you can ask. But before going for doubts and queries, how's the class for today? DevOps day one. You got the clarity? Remember, I'll tell you one thing. We have two tools, which is not going to be really interesting. Git and Maven. These two tools are going to be your developer tools, both Git and Maven. In real time, we don't use these tools much actually. Your actual DevOps is going to start from Jenkins. When it is going to start from? This Git is going to be boring, I know. And Maven is also going to be boring. But in real time, we don't use this daily, sir. We will just take it only once in real time. In your entire like working, you will take it only once. But your actual course is going to start from which tool? So for initial few days, just try to understand the concept, okay? No need to work hard for this. But when Jenkins came now, your DevOps engineer real-time work is going to start there. So now, if you are having any doubts or any queries, you can ask me now, guys. So we still have a lot of time to spend with you. Any doubts or any queries, you can ask. Commit means you are going to save this file completely on your repository. That file is saved till there. That means you can call this check mark. It is absolutely fine. Okay. Okay. In the repository. Yep. Commit means simply you can call this it's completely done actually. The code is ready to use. In simple words. GitHub repo, like I'll give you something. Don't worry. Don't worry about the interview questions as of now. Why? Because first of all, you need to focus on the subject. And one of the mistake that everyone is going to do, I'll tell you the interview questions also. But the first thing you need to understand is here, interview questions are just to satisfy you. Why? Because if I give you 100 questions on interview, if you ask the question in indirect way, what you are going to do, sir? For example, in class, I said to you, what is the meaning of version control system? But in interview, he asked source code management. Both are going to be same or not? Or example, like if I ask you, what are the stages inside the Git? But in interview, he asked to explain the process of Git. What you are going to do there? So remember, interview questions doesn't have any priority. The main thing is how you are going to understand the subject. If you ask me to crack an interview, no need of taking interview questions. Just whatever the content I'm giving, deliver that content in easy manner. And out of nowhere, apart from these concepts, you won't see any kind of questions on interview, sir. If you prepare this subject, whatever I'm delivering you, that is maximum enough to crack the interview. So don't rely on the interview questions. Focus on the subject. Git and Maven, you are not going to have much priority. So just understand it. No need to go for in-depth for it. But again, I'll teach you in-depth only, but no need of going for in-depth. Why? Because in real time, Git and Maven are the very, very small tools actually. Your major tool is going to start from Jenkins. Which tool it is? That's it. So still any doubts or any queries? Online and offline both. If you are having any queries, you can please ping me on comments. And I'm gonna like down all of your hands. Why? Because like a lot of people raise your hands here. But if you are having any doubts or queries, then only raise your hands. Yeah. Oh, you can do like you can add multiple files also. Just create multiple files. Git add star. Star means what? All. And give the command git commit star. Yes, Anuradha, you can get it. Please contact your admin for it. Okay, he's gonna send you. And Varsha, you can speak Varsha if you are having any query.
Yesterday
Varsha,
you.
give me a second. I'm not able to hear you.
Hello,
No?
am I audible?
Yeah, hello.
Good evening, sir. Sir, yesterday you tell us na ki you will going to give one EDMS daily.
DNS.
EDMS.
Sorry,
If
I haven't got you, Varsha. Can you please repeat?
Sir, yesterday you teachers learn ki one EDMS, good luck, break a leg.
I'm not able to get you still.
Sir,
Can you please ping me on chat or otherwise?
Okay, sir. 1 minute.
Okay, EDMs. Okay, I'll teach you that anyways. Don't worry. Okay, I'm not able to hear that. Like EDMS. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so idiom already we seen last class one idiom, right? So write the idiom number 2. What is the last idiom I said to you?
Good luck.
Break a leg, right? Okay, so write the idiom number 2 for today.
Okay, sir.
Idiom and troubleshooting, don't worry, I'll teach it. Okay, so I'm never gonna miss it.
Okay, thank
Fine.
you.
So idiom number 2 is going to be keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. What is the meaning of keep the ball rolling is continue to do good. For example, if I am practicing something, if I am doing good, someone said keep the bowling roll means you are doing it good, continue that. Okay. Simply. Not carry on, you are doing good and keep it going. Simply you can write it. For example, if you are on the lab and I am seeing you are practicing the DevOps course, okay? What I'll tell? Keep the ball rolling. That means you are doing good, like try to continue it. Okay. That is the idiom of the day. And coming to troubleshooting technique. So already we seen a top command and his top command, right? So troubleshooting, I'm gonna teach you the troubleshooting of PS command. Have I said you like how to kill the process? Then this is already done. So write this on troubleshooting number technique 3. How to check the process? The command we can use ps-ef or you can use ps augs. How to kill it, sir? Kill -9 PID. PID means process ID. Yeah, ask. Okay. Okay. So basically, in real time, we don't create process intentionally. Process will come automatically. For example, if you deploy the Tomcat web application server, automatically 8080 process will come. Okay. If you do a work based upon the work, the process is going to run in the server. Okay. Okay. Process ID. Yeah. Sig kill. We're talking about. Okay, that is some separate concept. Don't worry, I'll tell it on later point of view. Why? Because even if I tell you, you don't get the clarity. What is the port 8080 and why Tomcats run there? I'll tell on upcoming classes. Don't worry. Okay, so the idiom of the day is keep the ball rolling. That means you are doing good. Continue to do it. And troubleshooting technique is how to kill the process. So next, Matkar, you can speak Matkar. Matkar, are you there?
Hello.
Fine. So I think the doubt
Hello.
is enough. Yeah, Matkar, please.
Yeah. Thanks. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Matkar.
Actually, we today started Git. What about Linux? Is this over?
So
or
basically, no. Linux is not over. How much of Linux required for DevOps code I taught you. And again, from 6 p.m., you can join on the Linux course from Imran sir. Okay, you can continue Linux from there itself. Okay, Matkar?
Okay, sir.
That is free of cost for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matkar. Next, Anu here. You can speak Anu here.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, hi Anu here. Good evening.
So just a quick question.
Please.
When will the mentors be assigned for the people who are taking classes online?
Basically, in your Google Classroom, we are going to post the Zoom link from today itself. Okay, you can join on that link from morning 9 a.m. to evening 6 p.m. Okay, you can get the mentor
Okay,
support.
okay. And
Yeah,
from this week itself, are we gonna get
mentor
assignments
support.
as well?
Yes, yes, you
No,
will get it on email.
assignments as well.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Venkatesh, you can speak.
Sir,
Yeah, hi Venkatesh.
hi. Sir, what about any tough problem situation in Jenkins or Git or Maven? It is any tough on the subject? I mean, I having some query about this.
No, no, can you please repeat your question? Like I'm not able to hear your question properly.
Sir, and the Git in Maven, okay, you said in you can take any code. I'm asking any real time
Yeah,
we can build on
yeah.
any code.
So basically, if we come to the topic of continuous integration, na, Venkatesh, so in real time, we do every work from Jenkins. In this Jenkins, we can configure the repository, we can configure Maven only once. So this is never going to be changed, okay? So this concept, you will get clarity on the continuous integration. Don't worry about it as of now.
Can you write any code on VR on real time? Update any
Basically,
code.
we will not write the code, so developers will write the code, okay? We will write the pipelines, that is Groovy script.
Dribble script.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, then thank you everyone. So as we said, tomorrow is going to be holiday for all of you. So the people who is going to stay here are like nearby. So you have the right to vote tomorrow, right? So please go for voting tomorrow and we will get back to your next class. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye.